So on this particular Friday, I will never forget, I walked in and I think I was a little bit scared. I'm thinking, well, I've got to do it. And some of my friends had said to me, you know, this is 1996. There are not too many black chartered accountants. If you, you know, you're missing out on the biggest opportunity. They had lots of money. And I said, look, I'll never find, if I don't do this, I'll never find out. And if at worst, I can always go back and continue what I was doing. So it was just 6 months of articles, and since then I've never looked back. I've been with Business Connexion since 1996, my twin brother.
And you still haven't passed your board exams?
No.
Well,
I also learned that, you know, you talked about ego, that one entrepreneur said you get return on equity and you get return on ego. So I figured out that I'd rather focus on equity. I wouldn't have any ambition that it will get onto the stock exchange, but it's through a series of mergers and acquisitions I've been able to grow the business and let other people come in as well, because you're not going to be able to grow if you just don't want to have other people and you can't trust people. And that's part of the journey about being an entrepreneur, that although you might start with the idea, at some stage you've got to let the idea even grow and have a life of its own, and you still remain the important person because you've left a legacy.
Do you still see yourself, Benjamin, as an entrepreneur? Do you get up in the morning thinking entrepreneurial thoughts, whatever those might be?
Absolutely. It never stops. I mean, you know, as much as anything else, although you're part of a bigger engine, every single time our discussion is about how do we get into a new market, how do we find the rest of the continent exciting, where do you see opportunities. And our business, because of its size, we do different things in different ways. And what we become very good at is also acquiring companies that have been started by entrepreneurs. We understand the DNA, we understand what drives them as well. And when you can start building a model like that, you never stop being an entrepreneur. But one of the things that also comes very clear is the fact that mastering resources, I think what Doug is talking about is important as well. You know, you can never underestimate the importance of education. Your ability to either look at a business plan very quickly, to look at the numbers, it becomes very, very handy as well. And although I never became a chartered accountant, when guys do presentation, either on a quarterly business review within our business or any of our subsidiaries, I can look whether, you know, this is going to be a good business or not. And some of those things only become, and also you love numbers when you actually become the creation of them as well. Yeah. If somebody gives you numbers coldly, there's no passion, there's nothing, you don't even realize how do those people. So being an entrepreneur, you've got a very deep sense of appreciation for the people that work in your business, whether the salespeople or the technical people, because to get the kind of the billings or the revenues that you have, there's a lot of sweat work and that happens. And that's where education comes in. It makes you appreciate numbers even better, especially if you've got a lot of passion around them as well. And it's not always about money. I just remember that for us when we started in '96, it took us 3 years to 4 years before we taking a profit as well. But we never gave up on the dream. We always felt that we're a good weekend and it's just a matter of time. So money sometimes, I think most people want that instant success, but when you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't go that. And being in business, you've got to accept that there's going to be a good year and some great years as well. And I think that's where people sometimes become there. Because if you really believe in what you believe in, you'll not step away. You'll persist and go on. And that's what great entrepreneurs do. You're a business person all the time. When we started our business, we're fairly quite a young organization. Most of us were early 20s. And one of the things that we insisted on is that because we're saving or wanted to crack into the corporate and into government and parastatals, we decided that we're going to put suits from the beginning. So that became an issue because we always felt that presentation was the law in our business. And if you just came up in chinos and you're trying to convince people, because our first big contract was 100 million, it's become very difficult for people when you're going to get that kind of contract that they see you in that. So I always believe that the business principles will always have to always be there. I don't believe that an entrepreneur has to be divorced from that. You know, you still have to be punctual for meetings. You can't say because I'm an entrepreneur, I'll get there 10 minutes late. You know, business people, if you're going to be taken seriously, you've got to be on time, you've got to return calls, you've got to do all those things. So those things, I think sitting around with this panel, they never go away. You keep to your time commitments, and that's how you do that. So I think it's important to always realize that. And I think it's also important that as well that with ideas, is that don't always think that you're the only person with an idea. Just that, I think that's one of the things you've got to keep on testing, is that truly that. Because you go into a big corporate like a bank, as you said, and the guys as well, we've got an innovation division, they've been working on something, and you find that either what you've been working on, it's either 40% ahead or 40% behind. So you've got to be very, very sure about a lot of these things as well. Most companies like the Microsoft, the Ontario, they don't own a lot of patents, but the ability with any patent or any IP is the ability to turn it into real value proposition, into money.
Okay.
The day it stops being fun, don't do it. You know, the passion can never come out of something that you don't actually want to do. So the day it stops being fun, don't do it. It's all about the fun and enjoyment and every part of our life.